Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into 65, released in 2023, a sci-fi survival thriller that crash-landed into theaters with a wild premise. Starring Adam Driver and directed by Scott Beck and Bryan, this film blends space travel with prehistoric danger in a high-stakes fight for survival. Whether you're a fan of creature features, dinosaur chaos, or intense survival stories, this breakdown covers the plot, key characters, and the behind-the-scenes elements that shape the experience. We'll explore its themes of loss and resilience, highlight standout moments, and touch on some interesting production details that add context to the spectacle. Is 65 an underrated sci-fi adventure or a missed opportunity? Stick around until the end for my final verdict and rating, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments if you've seen the movie. Mills is introduced as a long-distance space pilot traveling through deep space on a routine transport mission. From the opening scenes, we sense his quiet determination and emotional weight. He's not just flying for work, but to earn money for his sick daughter back home. Alongside him are the passengers in cryosleep, whose lives unknowingly rest in his hands. The film quickly establishes the stakes when an unexpected asteroid field strikes the ship, causing a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet. Mills awakens to devastation, believing he is the sole survivor, until he discovers a young girl, Koa, who has also survived. This inciting incident pushes the story forward immediately, shifting the focus from routine travel to desperate survival. The setup gives us a clear sense of the film's tense and isolated tone, blending explosive sci-fi disaster with intimate, character-driven moments. By the end of the introduction, we understand who Mills is, who Koa is, and the terrifying danger surrounding them. The relationships in 65 are central to the story's emotional core. Mills's interactions with Koa reveal both tension and growing trust. At first, the language barrier between them creates distance and frustration, especially when Mills considers leaving her behind to increase his own chances of survival. However, moments like when he chooses to protect her from a dinosaur attack instead of fleeing show how their bond begins to form. Their differences, age, culture, and communication, create conflict, but they also push Mills to rediscover his compassion and sense of responsibility. Supporting characters are mostly absent due to the isolated setting, but the memory of Mills's daughter plays a crucial emotional role, influencing his decisions and reminding him what he's fighting for. These dynamics are essential because they ground the high-stakes sci-fi action in personal emotion. One interesting aspect is how Mills's guilt and grief shape his protective instincts, ultimately driving the choices that define the film's climax. As the plot unfolds, Mills faces a series of escalating challenges on the hostile prehistoric planet. The first major turning point comes when he and Koa encounter aggressive dinosaur-like creatures in the forest, immediately raising the stakes and showing how relentless and unpredictable the environment truly is. Survival is no longer just about finding shelter. It's about staying alive against apex predators. Then, discovering that a massive asteroid strike is imminent adds another layer of urgency, putting both Mills and Koa in extreme peril as they race toward an escape shuttle located across dangerous terrain. These key scenes are visually intense, from misty forests, hiding lurking threats to explosive action sequences filled with gunfire and creature attacks. The filmmakers use sharp, quick cuts during ambushes to heighten tension, while slower, quieter moments allow emotional beats, especially between Mills and Koa, to land. Close-ups really emphasize Mills's fear and determination as he struggles to protect her. Watching him adapt, strategize, and sometimes barely survive keeps the audience invested. Even still images from these scenes capture the raw tension and survival-driven intensity that define the film. So, 65 isn't just about survival and dinosaur attacks. It also explores deeper emotional themes. One of the most prominent is grief, reflected through Mills's memories of his sick daughter and the guilt he carries for leaving her behind to take the mission. His decision to protect Koa becomes more than survival. It becomes a form of redemption. Another key theme is responsibility, which emerges as Mills struggles with the moral dilemma of choosing self-preservation or risking everything to save someone else. The cinematography, really reinforces these ideas using dark, muted tones and dense, shadow-filled landscapes that mirror Mills's emotional isolation. Tight close-ups capture his internal conflict, while wide shots of towering prehistoric terrain emphasize how small and vulnerable the characters are. There's a powerful visual contrast between chaotic action sequences and quiet, reflective moments around campfires, highlighting the balance between spectacle and emotional depth. These layers invite viewers to think about loss, second chances, and the instinct to protect others. Beneath all the sci-fi thrills, 65 becomes a story about healing through connection in the face of overwhelming danger. Some interesting facts behind 65 make the experience even more fascinating. Adam Driver reportedly performed many of his own physically demanding scenes, adding authenticity to Mills's exhaustion and desperation throughout the film. The movie was filmed in locations including Louisiana and Oregon, where dense forests and rugged landscapes helped create the believable prehistoric environment. These natural settings gave the production atmospheric backdrops, but also presented logistical challenges, especially for action-heavy sequences. Heavy CGI was used to bring the dinosaur creatures to life, blending visual effects with practical elements like debris, mud, and environmental destruction to make the encounters feel grounded. One fun piece of trivia is that the film's title refers to 65 million years ago, the time of the dinosaurs, cleverly revealing the movie's twist in a subtle way. Including these behind-the-scenes details gives a greater appreciation for the technical work and creative decisions that shaped the film's intense survival experience. As the story reaches its climax, Mills confronts both the relentless prehistoric predators and the looming asteroid strike that threatens to wipe out everything around them. The stakes are at their highest as he and Koa make a final push toward the escape shuttle, knowing time is really running out. A tense showdown with a massive dinosaur becomes the ultimate test of Mills' courage and resolve. In this key moment, he doesn't just fight to survive, he fights to protect Koa, showing just how much he has grown emotionally since the beginning of the film. Koa's arc also wraps up in a meaningful way, as she transforms from a frightened survivor into someone brave enough to stand beside Mills in the final moments. The ending is both triumphant and bittersweet, tying together themes of loss, responsibility, and redemption. Without giving away every detail, the final scenes blend explosive action with emotional closure, leaving a lasting impression of survival against impossible odds. In conclusion, 65 delivers a thrilling yet emotionally grounded sci-fi survival experience. While it leans heavily on action and creature suspense, it also offers heartfelt moments that give the story surprising depth. Whether you're drawn to dinosaur chaos, intense survival stakes, or the emotional journey between Mills and Koa, there's something here to appreciate. If you enjoyed this breakdown, share your thoughts on 65 in the comments. What worked for you, and what could have been better? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more movie reviews and in-depth breakdowns. Thanks for watching.